Hi there and welcome to this video review of the Aputure F7 LED video light. Now the F7 is a brand new light that Aputure have just recently released, and I've managed to get my hand on a couple of these and I've been testing them out for a while now. And they've rapidly become one of my favorite LED video lights. And so in this video today, I'll be going over the F7 and talking about why I like it so much as an LED video light. Now, before we get started, if you haven't done already, it really benefits the channel if you hit that subscribe button. And if you are looking to pick up one of the F7s, there is an Amazon affiliate link in the description below, which also really helps the channel. Now, the F7 is a small LED panel, takes on very much a similar form factor of many of the LED video lights that are available on the market today. For those of you that have used Aputure lights, the F7 is quite similar in size and form factor to the HL198, which is one of my go-to LED panels for lighting small setups. It's still plastic design, but they do have that plastic coating over the LEDs, which is always good to see, because if you do drop your light, it lands on the LEDs and smashes some of those. That's effectively the end of your light. So having an extra layer of protection in terms of a solid plastic housing over the LEDs is always good to see. Now the F7 has got a number of upgrades, if you like, from the likes of the 198 and the 198C. And like the 198C, it is a bicolor panel, but instead of just being either a 3200 to 5500K panel, the new F7 goes all the way from 3200K tungsten all the way up to 9500K. So if you want to do lighting setups where you've got different color temperatures, this light allows you to achieve that. Now, the other headline spec of the F7 is the contrast ratio. And what this means is that you can control the brightness of the light all the way from 1% to 100%. And what this does is it gives you a huge contrast ratio of 1 to 326, which equates to about 8 1/3 stops. So you really do have excellent control over this light. Compared to something like the older HL198, the difference between the lowest brightness and the highest brightness of that light was only about 3.5 stops. So you now have so much more control over the brightness of the light with the F7. And that comes in use when you're lighting in low light situations. So for cameras that are very sensitive to low light, like the GH5S and the A7S range, being able to control your light and only light a subject with a very small amount of light when you have a very sensitive sensor can be of huge benefit. So having that control is really good, and that's one of the things that I really like the most about this light, is the control that you have over the amount of brightness that it emits. In terms of the quality of light that comes from the F7, I was really impressed. It outputs a high CRR rating. I think it's 95 plus. I wasn't seeing any nasty color casts. No green or magenta cast. It was producing a very natural looking light at 5500K. In terms of the amount of light that the F7 actually emits, I measured it about 2000 lux at a distance of 0.5 meters. So it's definitely one of the brighter LEDs of this size on the market. And the fact that it will go all the way down to around 8 lux at a distance of 0.5 meters at that 1% shows that huge contrast ratio of about 8 1/3 stops. The power options of the light have also been upgraded. It's still powered off Sony NPF batteries, but they've also added a USB-C style connector to power the battery. So powering off external battery packs is now an option as well. There's also a D-tap connector on it, so for connecting to ENG cameras or V-lock batteries. Some of the other things that I like about the light is the fact that it now has 1/4-20 adapters on 3 sides, which just means mounting options are that much easier. The light does come in a nice soft padded carry case, which is good. That carry case has also got room for the accessories, which is always good to see because you're going to need to carry those with the light. So having them all in one place is always handy. Now the light is priced about $100, which I think for the money is very good value. The light overall for me is a fantastic piece of kit, and it's a big upgrade over the HL198 and 198C. They're not bad lights. I still use them a lot, but the versatility that the F7 now has, that huge contrast ratio, and the fact that it's got a temperature range all the way from 3200K up to 9500K just makes it that much more versatile. And so having that in your bag just means that you'll be able to use it in lots of different scenarios, and it's just going to give you even more options with your lighting setups. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you are looking to pick up the F7, do have a look at the link in the description below. And if you haven't done already, hit that subscribe button. If you've got any questions or comments, please also drop them below. I do read everyone and I will get back to you. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.